What's up everyone, it's Scotty with Money Investing. So now back at my studio, so audio video is going to be back up to the quality. Hope you guys are doing great, and there's a lot to talk in this market update. NVDA just absolutely going crazy, up another 24%, and market cap expected to now open at over $930 billion. Incredible. Absolutely insanity, and congratulations to anybody who is trading or who had NVIDIA at the moment. So again, congrats to you for making some big bucks here. Very, very strong move. I'll be doing a video on NVIDIA later today, specifically a more dedicated video on that company. But overall, we did have the US now under negative watch from AAA rating from Fitch, and then we also had the FOMC meeting minutes come out, and then of course, not to mention the markets overall were slightly lower on the day. So hope you guys are doing great and are having a great Wednesday. Make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're just joining us for the first time. Link to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below if you're interested in joining. Of course, getting access to all the buy and sell alerts, options alerts, trade ideas, everything's going to be included, as well as a 16% annual discount that does expire now in 6 days. So again, link's going to be down below if you're interested in joining us. So this right here is going to be some of the updates. So Dow Futures slip as Fitch places United States AAA rating on a negative watch. So you'll notice that, of course, as we get closer to the default, which is supposedly going to happen on June 1st, and that's the X date, obviously there's going to be some more volatility, some more concerns over what's going to happen with the default, with the debt ceiling of the United States. You'll notice that Fitch Ratings put the US, a AAA long-term foreign currency issuer, default rating on a negative watch, and the rating agency said that the ongoing debt ceiling negotiations have raised the risks that the government could miss payments on some of its obligations. However, Fitch said that it still expects a resolution before the X date. So again, that's something that is already creating some volatility, some more concerns, and as a result, the yields were once again higher on the day. The 10-year was up over 1.35%, going past 3.74%, and as a result, TMF was lower, about close to 1%. TLT also selling off here close to 0.5% on the day. So that's going to be on our watch because you guys know that I am planning a swing trade idea on that particular potential swap here between the price and the yields, and that's something that we will be paying attention to as well. Talking about NVIDIA, oh man, where do I even start? Surging over 25% in extended trading after the artificial intelligence beneficiary gave stronger than expected revenue guidance for its fiscal second quarter, while also reporting beats on the top and the bottom line in the previous quarter as well. So beat on top line, beat on EPS, and then of course guiding for a very strong quarter. Again, I'll be doing a specific video on them here in just a minute, but without even knowing what they announced, I can already tell you that there's nothing that they could have said or done that would have justified a $930 billion market cap, right? It's absolutely crazy. And, we've talked about, how bubbles are formed. And in the book by Howard Marks, The Most Important Thing, he also talks about the price and the relationship between the price and the value. Read that chapter. It's very, very interesting. And he talks about how these things can really be self-fulfilling, where a lot of people, as the price goes up, people start to pay less and less attention to the actual value, to the actual fundamentals, to the actual company, and they just want to get in because the next person's making money, and it's very, very easy, right? Because right now it seems like for the last few months, if you bought NVIDIA, you just made money. You never lost it, right? So that's really been what's going on with NVIDIA right now, but of course we'll talk about it. And again, congratulations. I still own NVIDIA, right? A little bit, so I've got no hate against the stock of the company. It's just the valuation that we have to always be objective about. We have to discuss about the valuation, right? We can get attached to the company and the mission and what everything that they're doing, the story, but if you get attached to the price, if you start buying at any price, that's a recipe for disaster, right? So we have to take that into account. Valuation is never going to be out of question, right? Nothing is a great investment if it's priced wrong. You can buy great companies at the wrong prices, terrible investment. You can buy wrong companies even at the right prices, terrible investment. Our goal is to buy the right companies at the right prices, right? That's the goal. So for NVIDIA, we'll talk about it. We'll discuss it in a more separate video here. Fed officials less confident on the need for more rate hikes. And again, we had the FOMC minutes, and Federal Reserve officials were divided at their last meeting over where to go with interest rates, with some members seeing that the need for more increases while others expected a slowdown in growth to remove the need to tighten further. And though the decisions to increase the Fed's benchmark rate by a quarter percentage point was unanimous, the meeting summary reflected disagreement over what the next move should be, with a tilt towards less aggressive policies. So again, we're going to find out. Next meeting is going to be in June, so we'll see what the Federal Reserve ends up doing. But I know that they are going to definitely start to pull back a little bit from their rate hike policy, but you never know, right? There's a lot of data between now and then, between the next Fed meeting. So we'll find out exactly what they end up doing, but they did change that statement a little bit, where they removed the key phrase of additional policy firming may be appropriate moving forward. So definitely on the pause side, maybe not so much on the cut, because Jerome Powell has already mentioned that the cut is out of the question for now. So this right here was the state of the market, and Amazon here up 1.5%, Meta up 1%, Netflix up 2.5%, energy stocks pushing out a little bit, Apple flat, Microsoft flat. Financials were down. Then we also had software, industrials, utilities, real estate, materials, even healthcare selling off, with consumer defensive and staples also lower. But of course, this small pocket here, NVIDIA and AMD, were pushing higher after hours, is absolutely crushing it at the moment. 24% I think move on NVIDIA, and I think 8% move on advanced micro devices. So all sectors were red. So you had all 11 sectors except for energy, which was more or less flat, but 10 out of 11 sectors were red on the day. In the last 1 week, energy is the big outperformer. So this is actually a pretty telling chart, isn't it? Right? You're seeing a little bit of rotation out of the cyclicals, out of the communication services, out of technology. Maybe not so much of a rotation of those two sectors because it's been pretty flat, but other sectors are selling off, and then it's kind of like energy's gaining some momentum because oil prices are up in the last 1 week. And in the last 1 month, we still have comm services and technology with the very narrow leadership still moving higher and pushing up. So live cattle, natural gas, we had palladium, feeder cattle, ethanol, all of them pushing higher here on the day, with canola and sugar prices down. Bitcoin back under 26,000, Ether back under 1,800. And again, this right here was the market with the Nasdaq here down 61 basis points, S&P down 70, and the Dow down a little bit over 255 points on the day, with majority of stocks here selling off, with very few actually moving up on the day, only 1,700 out of 7,000. So talking a little bit about volatility first, we did get a spike of another 8%. So is if the VIX continues to move up on these fears of a potential default or inflation or interest rates, whatever the case may be, there is going to be opportunities for us to take advantage of the higher volatility. And again, dollar cost average a little bit better on our fair values and continue to DCA into the broader markets as well. So this right here, again, keep a close eye. VIX is on the move definitely, and right now back over 20 levels, up over 8%. Crude oil is, again, pushing past that resistance. It's back over $74 a barrel. So this right here really is going to be that support level to watch for crude. And the next resistance and target is going to be at $81 per barrel. So that right there is going to be that next resistance and the target to watch for crude oil. And support level, like I said, is going to stay put at $72 per barrel right now. Bitcoin here starting to sell off now. So we were consolidating sideways for a very long time, and now we're starting to really make a move lower. And 25,000 is going to be that support level to watch for Bitcoin. And resistance now is going to stay put at 27K for this coin. And Ether here now once again below 1,800. It's got a support down to 1735, 1740. So this right here is going to be that support level to watch for Ethereum, and resistance all the way up to 2,100. It does seem to be forming a little bit of these lower highs, so a bit of a descending triangle, so I wouldn't be too confident on whether we get a breakout or not, but 1730, 1735 is going to be that support level first, and like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a bit of a breakdown below that level either. Now talking about the QQQs, bit of a doji candle, so back below that resistance of 334. Lots of indecision today, and again, yesterday was a sell-off, today is a sell-off, but we did see a lot of consolidation sideways, more like a doji candle here, and after hours, of course, it's up over 37 basis points because of the fact that, NVIDIA absolutely crushed it, and a lot of individual stocks also moved up on the back of NVIDIA, after hours. And I think pre-market Nasdaq futures seem to be up over 1%, but I don't know if that's actually going to be accurate, and S&P futures up over 36 basis points. So it kind of does seem like Nasdaq futures are up over 1.3%. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, right? How the markets trade. So going over to the S&P now, and we're still inside this red rectangle, right? We've tried to break out. The bulls have tried their best, but 2 consecutive back-to-back red days, bringing us back inside this red rectangle. That's kind of like the bear candle that I've talked about in the past, and we have struggled at that level. It's a very, very interesting level between 41 and 4200 because there's a lot of battle between the bulls and the bears, and we're just kind of going back and forth, and that's really where we are. So we're seeing a bit of a pullback on S&P 500, and again 4200 is going to be that resistance. Support level is going to stay put at 4100. We'll continue to monitor how the S&P trades. Nasdaq, on the other hand, it's already gotten a breakout. We're just coming back down to revalidate, maybe a retest back down to 12,280. So that right there is going to be that support level to watch for the Nasdaq. And like I said, resistance is going to stay put at 13,000. So this right here is going to be that next target and that next resistance to watch for the Nasdaq, and support level is going to stay put roughly at 12,280 to as low as 12,000 points on the Nasdaq. Talking about Apple, and Apple here after hours was a little bit lower, 0.5%, and continues to see a bit of a pullback considering how overbought it really is. The valuation is a little bit overextended as well. The RSI negative divergence, MACD also pulling back. And of course, we're seeing a bit of a pullback from 170. So we're down about 3% so far from its recent highs. And of course, all-time highs are going to stay put roughly at over $181 per share. So support level is going to stay put at 158 with a resistance right now 177 for Apple. Talking about Amazon with a decent day, up over 1.5%. So once again, we actually did see a breakout, and we're coming back down to retest and revalidate that level. And now we're starting to move back higher once again. So pushing up over 1.5%, very strong move, and next resistance and target is going to be at 129. So this right here is going to be that next level to watch for Amazon. And now for the first time in a very long time, it's now trading back above its 300 simple moving average. So very strong move to the upside for Amazon. Talking about Tesla, and Tesla here on the day down about 1.5%, and after hours actually pushed up over 1.3%. Lots of momentum coming in after hours, right, on the back of NVIDIA. So support level is going to stay put inside this green rectangle. That's going to be somewhere between 170 and 175, and resistance and target that we're watching right now is going to be close to $200 per share. So that's going to be this level over here for Tesla at close to $200, and support level is going to stay put roughly at around 175, like I said. Talking about NVIDIA now, and NVIDIA on the day down about 0.5%, but after hours, look at that candle. High was $395 per share. Absolutely incredible. Like, if you actually consider how much it went up, it actually rallied a little bit over 30%. You take the market cap right now, 754 billion. 754 times 130. Ooh, I can't. Almost $1 trillion in market cap. Wow. It's absolutely incredible. Incredible how quickly NVIDIA has achieved this feat. I mean, just if you consider, it's a few months ago. It was at $107. Now it just touched almost 400. 4 times growth here in the stock price. Incredible. Again, congratulations to anybody who is still holding on to this stock, who's trading it, who's invested in it. Very, very strong momentum, of course, no doubt. And year to date, the stock's now up probably like 140% or 130% or something. But of course, we have to, consider the valuation, and there we go. NVIDIA barrels towards the rare $1 trillion valuation after putting a dollar figure on AI Boost. So again, we're going to break that down in a more specific video dedicated to NVIDIA specifically. But Wednesday session with a market cap total value of all shares in existence was roughly $754 billion. A 25% increase would add nearly $189 billion to that total, putting the company within striking distance of $1 trillion. Incredible. Talking about advanced micro devices, also with a very nice move up to 8% on the day, pushing past $117, $120. And again, this is all based on NVIDIA's move to the upside, right? So very, very strong move. And I think the valuation for AMD now is going to be closer to $188 billion, $188, $189 billion. I want to see if any of their stocks actually rallied. Nope, Intel actually went down 1%. And then let's take a look at On Semi. They also went up close to 1%. We can take a look at the semis watch list, see where everything kind of ended up. So, all right, let's just start with Supermicro. Rallied another 9% on the day. Pretty strong move. And then we had AMAT, which is, again, Applied Materials, up over 2.23%. Lam Research, up over 1%. Broadcom also rallied close to 2%. Qualcomm, slightly down. Texas Instruments, down 1%. Intel, down Micron, look at that, up almost 4% after hours. TSM up over 6.7. So NVIDIA really just pulled the entire semiconductor market up with it, which is absolutely crazy to think about. Talking about PayPal, and PayPal here, very, very flat, so not really going anywhere, just a little bit under $62, and just flat on the day. So again, support level is going to be 60, resistance at $66 per share. Square pushing up over 0.5%, and after hours also pushing higher. This right here is the lower high, so we're very much at that resistance right now at this lower high for Square, and support level is going to stay put inside this green rectangle at that support at $50 per share. And of course, we got a target or really just that resistance at those moving averages coming up for this company. Talking about Meta, and Meta here after hours up over 33 basis points. On the day was up like 1%, and this right here is really going to be that resistance or those levels to watch, the gap that it needs to fill between $250s and $290. So those right there are going to be some levels to watch, and support level is going to stay put at 236, 237 for Meta. Talking about Netflix, and Netflix here once again recovering a little bit, up over 2.5%. So after hitting that resistance, it pulled right back down, and now we're starting to see that move back higher, but it's still going to be inside this resistance to watch, right? $380 is still going to be that resistance for Netflix. Talking about Google, Google's seeing a bit of a pullback here on the day, down about 1.3%, and back below the support level for Google. And this is actually going to go ahead and turn this level back into a resistance for this company. Support level is going to stay put at close to about $109, $110 per share for Google moving forward. And talking about Microsoft here seeing a bit of a pullback. Support level is going to stay put at 312. That's the level to really pay attention to right now. And resistance is going to be all the way up to 344, 345. And finally, we got Shopify pushing up over 1.1%. So a little bit under $59, and support level is going to stay put at 54. So this right here is going to be that level to watch for Shopify, with a near term, more medium term resistance at close to $65 per share. So overall, markets here just very, very much sideways, lots of consolidation, but NVIDIA absolutely crushing it after hours, taking a lot of stocks up with it. So I think tomorrow could be a very strong green day for specifically the chip sector, and then of course could kind of ripple into some of the other tech stocks as well. But yeah, I mean, we can't go talk about NVIDIA without talking about the valuation, right? It's just with every company, you can't talk about that company without talking about the valuation and the fundamentals. And it's just, I feel like, I know I'm going to get some hate for saying it, seems a bit too overblown to the upside, and just be careful. That's all I'm going to say, right? Just be careful, be cautious. Look, my job is to actually make sure that you are consistently profitable on a more risk-adjusted basis, right? Just, it doesn't matter how much money you make, but how much risk are you taking to make that money? Because if you're taking on too much risk, then chances are you're going to get lucky once, twice, maybe 3 times, but at one point, that enormous amount of risk could really cause some significant losses. So our job is to make sure that we limit down on the risk, and we're able to find opportunities and trades that actually yield a very high rate of return. So that's really what asymmetric risk reward really looks like. So again, hope you guys enjoy this video and find it helpful. Make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Link to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below. A 16% discount till the end of this month. As always, happy investing. I'll see you all in the next video.